Welcome to the Big E. My name is Jasmine. This is the place where we explore, we experience, and we enjoy our life. If we're not enjoying our life, what do I say? Come on. We change our experience. It's in our power to change how we feel in our life and what we're creating. What are we bringing forth and attracting? We change that, and everything else around us will change. Tonight I'd like to share a little bit on, are you weird and different? When I was thinking about the topic for tonight, or I should say, as some of you know me, I will meditate on a topic for the week, or what is it that Spirit wants to say, what do they want to share. I believe in this show that it's a creation that already is. I just need to allow it to unfold, and I'm a vessel. So tonight they wanted me to share on being weird and different. As I look at my life today, I see myself as a regular woman. Yep, I fit in life. But if I look back at my history as a child or my adolescent years, I was a bit weird and different. I didn't know it sometimes as I went through life, but then I would hear people's comments. I would hear people say different things. Even today, there's a couple people that have said things like, Jasmine, you're anything but regular. You're anything but ordinary. And to me now, that's a good thing. But I wanted to share, so let me go back. I will not digress. I wanted to reach out to those who are sitting in the dark with this, who are being bullied, who have pain from this. To be weird and different, in all truth, it is a blessing, but it can be a curse depending on your perception. It's like I say sometimes, is what side of the elephant are you standing on? Are you standing there looking at its ass? Well, move to the front. Move to the front where it's moving and grooving and it's clear. Move to a different perspective. Change how you see something. But to clarify, when you're in the dark and you struggle or you're being bullied by being weird and different, or some people are saying this to you, especially in your adolescent years, it's something that is different in you and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know what it is sometimes, and they can be very mean. But to be weird and different is a very powerful thing. In my experience, it means a couple of things. First, you are very connected. You are very connected to a higher energy. You are also very sensitive to the energies on the planet, in the world, what's going on. Let me give you a couple examples how I have experienced this. When I was a child, I was raised in the Virgin Islands. I knew I was very different. In the islands, I was free. We didn't have anyone around us for very many miles, at least as a child. That's what I remember. I don't remember anybody around. There was a lady that lived up on the hill, and she had horses. And sometimes one would and come down and hang out with us, and she'd have to come down and take it back up the hill. That would be the only person that I really can remember around us. And we were very free. We didn't have shoes for the longest time. We would run around in the tallest of grasses, climb trees. We had horses, we would ride them, but we were very free. So I was able to experience myself and express myself with no judgment. Just my sisters. We were all good. My father moved us to the United States when I was 10, or a little after my 10th birthday, or it might have been before. Um, but around that time, I would started getting into the public system, the public schools. I was always in private schools mostly, and never really stuck out. I didn't stuck out from the crowd. But I remember one time I was in the public school system, and I was talking to some little friends that I had, and we were walking, and they were asking me, something to the fact of what do I see. I'm not sure what the content of the conversation was, but I remember looking around, and excuse me if I'm always rubbing my nose. I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold. But I would look around, and there were trees, but I would see people, as I believed, I would see people in these trees. So I started telling the little girls, um, oh, I said, oh, so and so, they're hanging out there, talking about everybody that was around me. And the little girls were a little baffled because they didn't see anybody, or they were saying, what are you talking about? Well, I realized as I kept talking, well, don't you see them, or they're there. I learned later that I see ghosts. I pretty much always have all my life, but at a very young age because of that response. And then, of course, in my family environment, there wasn't a lot of conversation around this. There wasn't a support system in who I was this way, so I shut down. And it was not until many, many years later that I really started to open up to it again when I found like-minded. Like-minded people make you comfortable and as happy as can be. So when I found these people, I started opening up, started doing, tarot readings, started talking about the energy, talking about how I saw and what I could see, and share this with others. In being weird or different, it can cause a lot of pain. Some will pull in. You start to shun the public. You start to avoid. But in avoiding, say if you think it's just the kids at school or just this person that's made a comment, what happens is you actually start shutting down to everything. If you shut down to one, you shut down to all. And I mean everything as far as life. You'll start seeing it, if you look at it closely, you're very aware. You're shutting down from connection to family, to siblings, to loved ones that can really support you or help you, if you have that available to you. What I've seen also is if this isolation continues, it becomes where one can do themselves harm. They can cause a detriment to them. Different things can happen. With me, it was sometimes suicidal thoughts, sometimes a couple times acting on it. I've heard of cutting. I've heard of that particular practice is trying to feel something that maybe is normal when they're told, and you are told you are not normal. These are things that we act out in when we cannot and we are not comfortable in our own skin, and we have not had the reinforcement or the support to explain or help us to understand who we are. You fit. You matter. You're closer to the energetic of a higher consciousness, or they call God. You're closer to that than you think. But because of the lack of understanding who you are, you can act out against yourself saying, I'm not good enough, or I'm odd, or I'm weird, so I need to leave, or I need to take myself out. Don't. That's all I say. Don't. Because you are so special. You are so needed. Exactly who you are. Now you need to understand who you are. That's the hard part, especially in this society, if you're being bullied, if you're being hurt by this. But let me say if I can say a couple of things that may help. To begin to understand yourself is to see the other people clearer. When someone's being mean to you, or they're bullying you because you're different, or you're weird, always know that you're bigger, bolder, and more loving than they possibly could ever be. Number one. Number two, when someone calls you weird or different, if you can truly see it, that they are telling you that you're a blessing, you are an energetic, I'm going to go back on that. We're going to cut just a little. We're going to cut, oh, my nose. Number 2, when someone says you're weird or different, if you can embrace that, because there's a power in being weird and different. What is it in being your weirdness and your differentness? What is it that is different about you? Do you know that? Or do you just listen to them and let them beat you down? No, no. Find out what that weirdness is. What is that difference? Why are they so scared of it? What is that power in you? What is it that they want to try to squash or run from or control? What makes them so uncomfortable? What is your superpower? What is it that makes you shine and everybody thinks it's different and weird? Because it's not them. You're not the norm. You don't go down the stream normally. You don't fly normally. Find out what is so different and so lovingly weird about you, and then you'll find your power. Embrace it. That's an odd word to say if you're being bullied. Well, there's pain in this. I understand. I truly do. But if you can get beyond the hurt, and the hurt is only because you're accepting what these people are saying. They can't hurt you, but you have accepted their words to be your truth, so now you're hurting. You believe what others say about you, and you take their truth on, you're now out of balance. You're now out of balance in your own life. How to get back in balance? Like I said, number 1, see them for who they are. You're bigger, you're better, and you're much bolder than they are. Number 2, find out what makes you different. Find out what makes you so beautifully weird. That's your superpower. That's your blessing. That's your strength. That's something you can stand in and stand with and empower yourself and stand up and be that bigger, better person in life. So those are the things I hope that help. Are you weird and different? Let's give a party. Why not? Why not? It's wonderful once you embrace it and find out and look inside. Talk to yourself. I don't care. Ask yourself, what is so weird about me? What is the difference? What makes me different? Find out what that is. Because as we do that as individuals, we empower ourselves. We step in to who we are. I hope this has helped. I've loved sharing about it. Again, it reminds me when I was a child. And there's so many of us, though. So many of us that don't fit, that we're different. But don't take on somebody else's truth and let it belittle you, hurt you, or isolate you. Because if it hurts you, again, I'll repeat, it's because you're accepting someone else's truth for your own. They cannot hurt you in reality. They cannot. But you're letting them. Don't. Find the beauty of being weird. Find the beauty of being different. And please, as I always would love when you guys do this, share this with me. What is your beautiful weirdness? What's your exotic, delicious difference? What is it about you that's so weird? Share, write in. I'd love to hear from you. Know how you're doing. What are you going through? Contact me through my website or my email. And I am sending you love always. All you weirdos and all the differences between all of us. See you next time.